And hello, and welcome to this year's Blast Process Comics type themed Halloween special. Not as detailed as I'd like it to be, due to the fact I can't find some of my issues, which is a horror story in its own right, to the point where I've had to go and buy replacements. But moving on, I'm going to start this particular tale off with this. The 13th Floor. Now, this actually came out, I'm not quite sure when, but it's it's a special on the Scream Presents. Now, Scream was a British horror children's comic. It didn't last very long, and I think a couple of the tales moved on to Eagle, and I read Eagle, so I was aware of the 13th Floor. Now, because Rebellion, who owned 2000 AD, owned a lot of British IP rights, they've been reissuing stuff, creating new stuff based on it, and this is one of these such events. So previously, you've had a couple of specials, and this is where the props sort of run out because I can't find them. We had Scream and Misty. Incidentally, each magazine was issued twice, as Scream and Misty, or Misty and Scream, with the sizes changed and the name who came first. You get the idea. So you had a variant with kind of a point, as it were. So you take something like this, which kind of reminds you of 2000 AD with the layout, and you have a series of stories. Some are interlocking, some aren't, and there's an advert here that's kind of foreshadowing what's coming along in a moment. However, but I digress. So what you got here was a special for the 13th Floor, and it incorporated the 13th Floor as it appeared in that, which is Scream and Misty from 2017, and that, which is Scream and Misty from 2018, plus a new bit. And a reprint, the nice handy little table here explaining it, of the very first 13th Floor from Scream issue 1. Now then, the 13th Floor. The 13th Floor is a comic strip about, initially started off with Maxwell Towers. Maxwell Towers. And the computer there, that was there to help residents. And it was, shall we say, did too much of a good job. You could call it much of a bad job. In the sense that anybody who threatened the residents, shall we say, got their comeuppance in a horrific way. And hence the 13th Floor, a floor that the computer had control over. Exactly what the floor was, how it worked, it changed a bit over the course of time. Now, these stories have been put together and were reissued as a nice hardback. Here we go, 13th Floor. And you see it's volume 1, and it was created by John Wagner Alan Grant and José Ortiz. He drew all of it, okay, until the recent, I want to call reboot, continuation. Now, the stories have been issued in the paperback and hardback. The hardbacks were exclusive to the Rebellion / 2000 AD web store, and it's exclusive to the limited edition hardback bit. And there's been 3 volumes to complete the full run. Volume 1, it concerns the tale as it originally took place, as the controlling computer in a residential block of flats. Each sort of tale is kind of a morality tale, where the bad guy, for want of a better word, is shown the error of their ways. Maybe not with the best outcome for them, shall we say? Well, you get the idea. Almost a bit tales unexpected, but are expected. It's so you can really describe them as. So, volume 1 was issued. There we go. I'll show you the back. More clear than I can describe it. This incorporates quite a few issues actually. Let's see if I can find the detailed breakdown. Description. And some of the specials, should we? And there's also a gallery at the back. Well, I'll try and compose my thoughts. I tried to show at the end because there's a kind of a narrative ongoing through each of the individual episodes. As you can see, there's what Scream looked like with its cover. There's a nice eagle wraparound cover. And a bag of the actual creators. And Max will return to the 13th floor. So even the ending of this is kind of, shall we say, changed. But the fact you know no volume was coming. So that was volume 1. So what happened after that? Well, obviously, we got volume 2 in a nice red. Incidentally, this is the only time where, in particular hardback covers, the colour has got a graduation going through it. As you see the side, volume 2. Let's move that out of the way. And this continues the story as it appeared in Eagle. Now, the computer gets relocated. It goes to a department store, the name of Pringles, which I'm pretty sure isn't associated with the crisps of the same name, or corn snacks, if you don't think of them actually as crisps. And in this particular instance, he sees all the customers or potential people walking into Pringles as potential customers. So maybe they need a bit of a push. Again, individual stories are told, which form a big story arc. The machine, or the computer, gains, shall we say, even more abilities. I can't quite think how to describe this. Hypnotism comes in once or twice, where people are where they think they are, and their comeuppance takes place. And again, at the end, we get a nice little gallery. By now, Eagle has gone through its own little bit of set of mergers, so it's now Eagle and Tiger. Hence that wraparound cover. I don't mind showing you the covers at the end. And we've also, there we go, the advert. And interesting enough, the creators get shown twice. There you go. So we're now to volume 2. Now, as it stands, they're well worth reading. And there are people out there far better qualified than me to explain everything that's going on. Now, I don't pretend to know very much about British comics. I've got a reasonable working knowledge of names and things, but down to the minutiae, that's not my strong point. I know when to stop. Right, so we are now 2 volumes. Now, both of these, as hardbacks, were Rebellion Store exclusives. In fact, all the hardbacks in a particular range are, and both are out of stock. So I'm sorry about this, but you've had it. However, paperback versions of both of these are available online. Checking the Rebellion site I couldn't see them there, but they are on a well-known, so to say, online retailers beginning with A, and other bookshops are available. So suppliers, so maybe worth looking around. Now, but the story doesn't end there. We could have had volume 1, volume 2. So it's no surprise to realise we get volume 3. Ah, it's quite nice like that, doesn't it? Yeah, look at that. Yes, a volume 3 in a tasteful green, no colour graduation like the red. Let's have a look tour around. See the same names on the side. Let's look at the back. It gets a bit more interesting now. The computer Max ends up back at Maxwell Towers, and a sort of Secret Service MI5 kind of aspect takes place, where also he ends up with a, shall we say, an opposition with the KGB and their computer called Boris. Okay. Notice, Attack the Block. Wasn't that a film? Anyway, let's have a quick look inside. There's your end papers, front and aft. As you see, Max seems to have like a humanoid form now. Again, we have a small feature at the front, an interview in this instance. Actually, let's just recap what we do get as extras, because I must admit, my mind fails me. Right. Editor of Scream, Ian Rimmer. Alan Grant, one of the co-creators, do a little bit at the front of volume 1. Incidentally, the stories were written under the pseudonym of Ian Holland, mostly to hide the fact that John Wagner Alan Grant were basically writing most of IP's output at the time. Volume 2, where are we? Editor of Eagle, does a bit of foreword. I think that includes that one. And in this one, Volume 3, where are we now? Volume 3, we have an interview taking place. David Hunt, the Eagle editor, or former editor, has been interviewed on this one by Paul Trimble, founder of the award-winning Enniskillen Comic Fest. Just for shout-outs where required. So that's the 3 volumes to form the complete series. Let's try and make a nice picture of this, shall we? Some more side by side. There we go. There we go. All on screen. Right. So what happens next? Well, I've already said, hardback wise, sold out, available. And paperbacks for that and that are out there. I don't think I've seen a paperback version of this yet, but give it time. I can't see a reason why not. So, going full circle, heading back to this again. This, actually, is currently on sale at the Rebellion, and by the time you watch this, it should hopefully still be on sale. And as already mentioned, this includes the content in Scream Misty and the other Scream Misty, which I can't find. Interesting enough, obviously now we've got a different writer. It's Guy Adams, who's written quite a lot of stuff, things like Big Finish, various books. I'm doing the guy an injustice. Interesting enough, the actual artwork in here has got a variety of hands behind it. Some quite familiar names, John Stokes, for instance, and Tom Patterson, and of course more recent names. I could read them all out, but well, you can see them on the screen anyway. And say this includes all the content in the 2 previous Scream and Misties, this and the other one. So if you get this, at least you've got the continuation. The story doesn't really end there, because Max has reappeared in the Vigilant. It's a sort of a cross IP storyline. But do you think they're a continuation of this? I think isn't quite true. I would think that the core element of 13th Floor is the 3 volumes and that. Now, it wouldn't be a miss, so I can't think of any other way to include this, but I think the 13th Floor has been issued once before, previously, by Hibernia. And so I thought I'd throw a few extra bonuses here to make up for the fact I messed up with the Scream and Misty bit. So we've got the Tower King. This is also in Eagle, and Alan Hebden, well known for writing Commando nowadays, and José Ortiz again. And this is featured basically what would happen if all the electricity failed, and we go back to more medieval existence in then present day. So it's all steam engines and the like, and people hitting each other with cudgels. Yes, Mick Tempest. Now, Hibernia is one of those, shall we say, secrets of the comic world. Like, I didn't discover they existed until a few years ago. License and reprint things. And those small print runs, sometimes they reissue them, because I haven't got first prints of these. This particular one is a 3rd edition from October 2020. So when it came back in stock, I ordered it. And we've also got the House of DAEMON. John Wagner again, Alan Grant. So we're kind of going full circle with José Ortiz. So that's the 3 behind the 13th Floor. Again, this is also from Pages of Eagle. Kind of annoying for myself, because I met John earlier in the year at a comic festival. And Mike Perkins was also there. I'll put a link to that and the comic trail in the description, and hopefully there's a link on the screen. It's one of those things, you go there, you meet people, then you realise afterwards what you should have taken along. So the House of DAEMON. How can I describe this one? A twisted house of horrors. A house meant to be a dream house turned into a nightmare. So I'll just do a quick flip through, show you the level of art. It is extremely good. There's, even if you're keen on the storylines, the art takes you there. And horror stories, they're not the super gore things. They're sort of adventure tales with a sort of a more grisly aspect to the whole thing. Try not to spoil the ending. Now, both of these, as far as I know, aren't in stock. More things you can't buy. Oh, sorry. But well worth tracking down, and in time, you never know. So there we go. So we've got the Tower King, House of DAEMON, move him out of the way, the continuation of the 13th floor, and the 13th floor. Well worth reading, and shall we say, highly appropriate for this time of year. And with that, thank you for watching to the end of this complete rambling mess, and see you again next time. Thanks for watching.